Sticking with this Kevin Feige interview with Entertainment Weekly, where he was dropping a whole bunch of nuggets, probably by far the biggest one that came out. Of course, Ray had to giggle at that. Kevin Feige dropping nuggets, and Ray's like, so by far, the biggest one is easily this. It's Spider-Man. Because ever since the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, there's been several levels of questions, both on screen and off screen. On screen, where does Peter go from here? Where does the story progress from this point now that nobody knows that he's Peter Parker and all that kind of stuff? But also off screen. All right, we're pretty much at the end of the Sony Marvel re-upped deal. What do? A lot of us kind of figured that, listen, everybody's making money. Everybody's really happy. Maybe they continue and extend this out a little bit longer. I mean, at some point, Sony's just going to take Spider-Man back. But do you need to do that right now? Maybe not. So how are they going to move forward with this? Well, Kevin Feige was asked directly about what's going on with Spider-Man, and he said this. He said, all I will say is that we have the story. They've got the story. The story's locked. They know what they're doing with this movie. All I will say is that we have the story, and for Spider-Man's return, we will have big ideas for that, and our writers are now putting pen to paper as we speak. So they say, we've locked the story. Kevin Feige's approved the story that they've got. And now it's the process of sitting down. Say, well, wait, if the story doesn't mean the script's done. So what will often happen is most of the time is they'll come up with like a 10-page treatment, right? Just something that'll just, here's our idea for the movie. This is the movie in a nutshell. And then they go, okay, yes, go ahead with that. Then they bring in screenwriters. They start fleshing the whole thing out. And we'll end up with our 130-page, whatever, screenplay at the end of it. So it sounds like they are moving full steam ahead. Rob, I think we all expected that. Of course, we're going to see another Spider-Man movie, right? Especially after No Way Home flirted with $2 billion, $1.9 billion in the box office. That thing came out, defied all expectations. We knew there would be more. We knew when Tom Holland was saying, I don't know if I'm going to be playing Spider-Man anymore. We said, yeah, that's not true at all. He knows he's playing Spider-Man again and all this kind of stuff. They've got their plans. So the question is for you. 2 parts. Number 1, where do they go with this Spider-Man now, with the way the MCU is changing and all that kind of stuff? And number 2, how much longer do you think Sony and Marvel will stay in this sort of arrangement before Sony at some point says, you know what, we're going to just try now making our own Spider? I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, where do you go? I mean, I really like the idea. I was talking about earlier, the personal nature of these superhero stories has been sort of lost. With Spider-Man now, we have a great personal story. Here is a man who has literally had his life stripped away. He has no past, no friends, no one remembers him. He has his aunt is dead. Where does a man like that go? You get to reinvent yourself. What does Peter Parker do now? The slate is clean. How does he move forward and reinvent himself for the world he lives in now? And how does he continue his own relationship with Spider-Man? I think that's a fascinating story to tell. I love this because it makes it deeply personal to him. And we're going to get to watch him the same way when we watched Tobey Maguire grapple with his spider powers at the beginning of Spider-Man 1. That was a lot of fun. Now we're going to have to watch Peter Parker grapple with how does he rebuild his life? How does he do that? Like, I don't know. And what does he do without ID? Like, can he go to a bank? Like, how's he going to get it? He's got to find all these stories I'm looking forward to seeing. So that's exciting. Then people know Spider-Man. They just don't know Peter Parker. Well, what happens when the real you has no identity and that your superhero identity is the only thing that people know about you? I mean, I love this idea. And then if no one remembers him, he's now got the perfect secret identity that nobody remembers. He can't be discovered as Peter Parker because if somebody pulled off his mask, they wouldn't care. They're like, who are you? We don't know who you are. So how does that help him be Spider-Man? I think that could be really interesting. So I think where they're going to go from this is as he's trying to discover who he is, he's also going to find maybe somebody comes gunning for him, or I don't know. And so at the same time, he's trying to build up who he's supposed to be in real life. I mean, in his life, someone's going to come after him and try and destroy him in a way that we haven't seen before. I don't know what that is. Will they have other Spider-Men? I wouldn't be surprised if the other two Spider-Men come back and help him become Peter Parker again or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea.
Again, the article in question also pointed out that, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have both kind of at least hinted that they would be open to coming back again. I mean, I honestly don't, for a long time, I never thought they would come. I thought that was their swan song, that they gave them their proper goodbyes that everybody wanted them to have. And I still kind of think that's probably it. I don't think we're going to see them back again. But I would say this. The thing that makes me most excited about where Spider-Man can go now is no more frickin' Iron Man Jr.
Oh, yeah, no.
Spider-Man gets to finally be Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't need an AI-assisted frickin' battle suit. He's Spider-Man. And as much as I have loved the Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU, I've loved it. Make no mistake about it. I've absolutely loved it. But the one thing that has scratched my ass about it is like, why do they always have to make him Iron Man Jr.? Why does he have to have an AI-assisted battle suit just like frickin' everybody in the MCU? Even the Dora Milaje now have Iron Man suits. I mean, I'm so happy to see. That's why I love the end of No Way Home, when you literally see that he's got a sewing machine and is making his own Spider-Man thing. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Anyway, Chris, for you, Kevin Feige is now saying we got the story for Spider-Man 4. We're now putting it into development moving forward. Are you surprised at all? Does this make sense? Where do they go with this? How do you see it?
It makes sense. This movie was killer. The last movie was great. Like we were talking about earlier, it got people to get back to movie theaters and everything. It was wonderfully done. I am really excited to see this more old school version of Peter Parker, though. Is he going to take up photography? Are we going to find a way to get back to the Bugle, given that that is very InfoWarsy right now? Is he still going to be a photographer for them or work for them? Is he going to be able to get back to college and do everything? I mean, does he still have transcripts, even though people don't know who he is? I want to know about all those logistics as well. Does this allow him to meet Gwen Stacy and have that relationship? Is true love going to make MJ remember him? There's a whole bunch of stuff here that can happen that I think is really, really exciting and a really cool time for Peter too, because now he gets to explore the world as a young man on his own, trying to find his way. And I think it will have a lot of that kind of like 60s sensibility. We just left with One Day More, basically, was that kind of storyline that we borrowed from. I'm excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Kevin Feige says we're now Spider-Man 4 is in development. We've got our story. We've got our screenwriters now fleshing it out. Are you excited about this? Where do you think they can go with it? How much longer do you think Spider-Man is going to be in the MCU? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I made the switch over to Mint Mobile a while ago. The process couldn't have been easier, and I can't believe that I am spending less than a third of what I was spending on one of the other major carriers before. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.